Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giant football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Fellow goofballs, the Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, Rob. Most likely the guy not drinking the mayonnaise.
Some people like it, a mayonnaise.
Touche.
I mean, Will Levis says it's good. I'm going to find out. You could find out as well, I'm just saying.
I could, but I also don't put mayonnaise on my sandwich.
See, I should have made it. First off, mayonnaise is amazing on sandwiches. It's amazing on French fries. It's amazing on pretty much everything.
So
mayonnaise
you enjoy your coffee.
is amazing. But, just saying, I should have made it like who's up for the month because, God damn it. We'll get that over to that's over on later on in the week, though. We got enough shit to talk about tonight. Because
Woof.
Just when you think it can't get worse. Guess what, guys? It gets worse. So, yeah. Tyrod Taylor already on the IR with his rib injury. We don't know what he's coming back. And, of course, we kind of suspected this news was coming down today. But, yeah, Daniel Jones has been diagnosed with a torn ACL. That means he is gone for the rest of the season, guys. That leaves us with...
And majority of next season.
We'll see about that one there. I mean, you never know about that. Some guys come back pretty quick for that stuff. Some guys don't. But
not everyone's Adrian Peterson.
Well, but there are some guys who come back within like a year and come back within 6-8 months. So it's like you never know. But we don't know what's going to happen with him next year. That's the big thing. But that leaves us with Tommy DeVito and last week's signee, Matt Barkley at quarterback, guys. That's not good. That is.
So you're saying we have a chance of the Barkley twins in the backfield.
I'm saying we have a better chance of that than winning a game. The way things are going, god damn. Yeah, it's like you look at who's out there. We've talked about this a little bit already. There's not really like some great names out there, and again, the trade deadline's over, guys. We're not going to be trading anybody anytime soon. Okay.
Yeah. You would have to go to picking someone up just in hopes there's a free agent.
Yeah. It's like we're almost better off at this point, going like Colin Kaepernick than we have on the roster. That's how bad it's gotten. A guy who hasn't played in the league in like 10 years. At least it feels like it. He's probably a better option than a lot of the guys we have available. I mean, good talent's not sitting around November 6th.
No.
Just saying. It's not there. I still stick by what I've been saying forever, that I think the Giants should go ahead and sign Carson Wentz if they can for the rest of the season. Because we don't know. I mean, that's part of the equation. We don't know what's going on with the position as a whole at this point. It's like not only is it Daniel Jones, but again, it's Tyrod Taylor. Is he going to come back at all this year? He's put on the IR. He's gone at least 3 more games. We don't know what's going to happen there. We know what Tommy DeVito is. I hate to say it because we haven't seen him in the Giants uniform yet. We know what Matt Barkley is. He hasn't played in the NFL in years. He's not good, folks. He's not.
No.
And Carson Wentz is not good either, but at least he's not embarrassing.
Not Barkley or DeVito embarrassing.
Now, if you're like me,
at least DeVito's just a young guy. He's got an excuse. Wentz just fell from grace, if you will.
He fell from grace, but we still saw last year he can throw the ball. He didn't play very well, but he could throw the ball.
You could trust him.
No, I don't trust him.
I don't.
Here's the thing. I don't need to trust him. I don't want to win. I just don't want to get embarrassed, guys. Like, I'm tired of these, 30-6 games. I just want to look somewhat respectable and still lose every game. That's what I want. I don't think it's asking that much.
I don't want the hope. I don't want the hope.
I
I
mean,
don't want to get blown out, but I also don't want to get the false sense of security that we might win a game at this point.
but I mean, here's where you're at. Keep in mind too. Right now, the Giants are number 4 in the draft. Number 4. Ahead of us, you have the Arizona Cardinals, who are going to have Kyler Murray starting next week. Hold on, I'm saying. So you got Kyler Murray starting next week. You got to think that Kyler Murray changes this team to be a team that's better than what it was. I'm not saying great, but better than what it was. They can win some games potentially. So let's say hypothetically we leapfrog them. That gives you Chicago and Chicago by way of Carolina. Now, Justin Fields is going to come back very soon. We thought he might come back even last week. That leaves us with, having to hope that Justin Fields gets his crap together and wins some damn games. You got the Patriots are also 2-7, but they're going to beat us. Let's be honest. They're going to beat us. The Pop Warner team can beat us right now. So
it almost feels like the same way
that
for
gives
the
us
Patriots.
an edge in that one there. It gives us an edge. No, but it doesn't, because the Patriots have Mac Jones. I'm not saying Mac Jones is great, but he's an NFL quarterback. Is he an NFL starting quarterback? I'm not so sure on that still. But he's an NFL quarterback. Tommy DeVito is not an NFL quarterback. Matt Barkley is not an NFL quarterback. So that's basically what I hope is to basically lose out and hope that Chicago somehow falls into a couple of games and Carolina somehow potentially falls into a couple of games. And Arizona, like I said, should be better with Kyler Murray, and we have a shot to do something. Because here's the scary thing, folks. Let's say, for example, it goes that way. That means Chicago Bears would go ahead and get not just Caleb, who's supposedly the prize of this QB class. Again, Rob and I have not done our research on this yet, guys. We're not giving opinions. I'm just giving you what everybody else is giving you on this. We will do our research. Trust me. We will be diving into quarterbacks. This is going to be an off-season of quarterback draft talk like you would not believe, I'm feeling. It's going to be that kind of off-season for us. But we're not doing that yet. So that leaves the NFL with, like I said, Caleb going over to the Bears with maybe Marvin Jones Jr., Morris Harrison Jr. You're talking about a 1-2 punch there. And that leaves us with our pick of basically the silver medal of quarterbacks. Obviously a lot of people would sit there and say,
we'll talk about this more too
Drake
as
May.
we talk about this week goes on about how the play goes into. But just because you're drafting the number 1 overall quarterback doesn't mean you're going to the number 1 overall quarterback in the draft. Like look at Bryce Young and look at CJ Stroud. Just saying, look how the two of them played different this past week. One set an NFL record for rookies, other one still looks like poop.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's where we're at there. But I mean, this is where but that gives us Drake May in that kind of scenario. So, like I said, guys, this is not all bad news. It sucks for now, and I think the talk's already been there. Is this potentially the last game that we ever see Daniel Jones play for the New York Giants? Because let's be honest here, we're going to get a quarterback. We may get 2 quarterbacks this offseason because there's no guarantee he's ready to start the season. There is no guarantee a rookie that you draft is ready to start the season. So you need to have a good backup. And Tyrod Taylor, every time we see him play, he gets injured.
But he's started how many games and how many times has he been injured as a Giant?
Yeah.
At this point, he's going to miss more starts than he actually started.
Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy part. So, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be interesting offseason, guys, for us. It really is, because there's going to be a lot of moves going on overall. But, you got to look back, though, and kind of thank Daniel Jones for his time with the team there. It sounds like a thing, like thanks for your service thing, but it's not like not being even like facetious about this. It's my SAT word for the day, facetious.
Ooh.
Facetious.
It's like Mufasa.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going there. I'm actually going there tomorrow. Yeah, by the way, Disney Animal Kingdom tomorrow. But anyway, the big thing is that here's a guy who spent 4 years and change now as our quarterback. Went through a lot of adversity because of how crappy the organization was run for many years. Dealt with a really bad offensive line. Dealt with not having great weapons pretty much the entire time. Dealt with constant injuries, constant issues. Never once did you hear that man complain.
Not a single
Never once. Now, I may not think Daniel Jones is the answer. We've been talking about that from that perspective for a while. That doesn't mean I don't have respect for the man. I have respect for him. So we can joke around all we want. That's what we do here. We're goofballs. But know that there's a lot of respect. And if this is the end of the Daniel Jones era, he is not the Dave Brown guy that like, oh, thank God that bastard's gone.
Yeah, you have to say at the end of the day, chances are this past week was DJ's last start.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And I hate to say it with this play, but if all things go well. I hate to say it that way, but if all things go well, yes.
I mean, just think about it. Like, if you get a quarterback, right, and we have twice as many wins, 5 wins at this point next year, when he's like probably going to be able to play, because let's face it, people coming off ACL injuries don't play the same.
Nope. Especially mobile.
Yeah, 100%. And like, what was DJ known for?
Imagine
like,
Daniel Jones
kind of throw the ball,
no
but
running.
he could run the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. You want Daniel Jones to pocket passer?
No. So if you got a quarterback that's got you 5 wins at this point in the year, why would you put DJ in at this point in a year from now?
Yeah. Oh no, but what I'm getting at more is,
I'm not saying 5 wins is good.
I'm saying, let's say hypothetically, if DJ's the backup next year, because let's be honest, he's got a huge contract. It's hard to move.
Yeah,
you can't trade him in the offseason. You can't trade him in the offseason because he can't pass the physical. Unless you get some team to sign off on that. Good luck with that contract. But what'll end up happening is what I'm saying is the only way he'd get on the field is if the rookie quarterback is horrible or gets injured. That kind of scenario.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm saying if all things go well,
not start.
Yeah, if all things go well, though, unless they do some kind of settlement or injury buyout. I mean, I don't think let's be honest. If the Giants go ahead and get a new quarterback in this draft, like we expect, do they really want DJ around? Does this split up the locker room? Does this make it more difficult for a rookie to come in and say, "This is my team," when the guy who was just saying, "This is my team," is right there behind you, sitting next to you? I don't know how to avoid that scenario though with that contract. This is the problem we run into that contract. But like I said, it makes it a conversation to have. Like, how do you get around that?
I mean, it's not like it's hard. If you're a top 3 QB that's getting picked out of this draft, and the guy you're replacing has an ACL injury, and you're coming into this season, it's going to be mixed signals on both these quarterbacks.
But this is like the scenario where like you're like you meet this girl just get out of this relationship and her ex-boyfriend's next to you the whole time.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you might have to part ways.
But how do you?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. You can't trade him this offseason now because he's injured. He cannot pass the physical.
The only other way
around this, you lose a ton of money.
With 22 mil?
Dude, it's like we're talking like his cap number next year. Let's I'm gonna look it up while we're talking here.
What was it 19? It's supposed to. Yeah, it's actually I think it's.
No, but here's the problem. It's not that. Keep in mind, anything that's prorated, it gets added on at that point. So if you cut Daniel Jones, hypothetically, next year, you're eating $69.3 million against the cap on him. As it stands now, his cap number is $47 million. So you're losing $22 million.
Yeah. So all right, I was right. You lose 22 dead cap.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of money.
So that's what I'm saying. It's be difficult. That's to get rid of him. I really don't see how you do it. Like so, the only way you do it potentially, is trading him after June 1st. No one's going to take that trade.
I was about to say he's still not going to be healthy from come back from that ACL surgery. Most likely.
That's what I'm saying. So,
like, even if he rushes out, gets it, like, swelling's done, he has a surgery before Christmas, before Thanksgiving. You put him in a fast pace by June 1st, so you're looking 6 months, just about where he's been able to heal up off a surgery that takes, at minimum 6 months. So that's like if you're super, super like duper coming back, and you're still not 100% after 6 months.
Super duper.
It's not like Adrian Peterson who came back after like 6.5 months and played one of his best career years. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't see a way this ends well for the Giants. I really don't in this whole scenario. Like I said, I think it's almost like, do you pay Daniel Jones not to be there, and just say, hey, we're just going to pay you this year to sit at home? Like, is that even an option?
I mean, I guess technically it is,
because I don't know about you. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose an extra $21 million against the cap to send him home. But I don't want him around if you go ahead and draft a quarterback. Like, you're done with him. Move on. This is where that ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend and girlfriend kind of situation makes sense. Like, you're done. It's not you, it's me. Move on. Jones can't be on this roster next year if you're drafting a quarterback.
I mean, the only other way around that is if you're taking one of these awesome quarterbacks, he's going to be like a backup. Like, he's going to be sitting there.
He'll be a backup, but you don't want them in the room.
But
that's
I understand
the locker
that.
room, I'm telling you.
No. That's that. You let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Because then you go out and get someone like Carson Wentz and be like, "You're our guy this year. You two fight it out for next year."
You want to have Carson Wentz fight it
out?
I'm
just saying. I'm just no. You get someone like Carson Wentz. You're the starter. You have to pay DJ. He's not going to go anywhere. You're going to draft someone because you want a future. Yeah. You say to those two, fight it out. You let's figure it out.
Who? Daniel Jones and Carson Wentz?
No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You go get someone like Carson. I know you're not. So, come your titties. You get someone like Carson Wentz. You give him the starting job. It doesn't have to be Carson Wentz.
Are you saying for this year or next year? That's what I'm not grasping here.
Next year.
Okay, next year, giving Carson Wentz the starting job. Okay.
Gardner Minshew, whoever. X name in there. You're the starter.
Okay.
You draft the quarterback who you want. You can't get rid of DJ. You turn around and be like, this is a one-year deal with Gardner Minshew or Carson Wentz or whoever, name X. You guys, you're fighting for your job next year. Figure it out.
But you still have Daniel Jones on the roster in that scenario.
Yeah. You're telling Daniel Jones and you're telling whoever we draft out of the draft.
But that's the problem. I don't want Daniel Jones with his replacement. I don't want that.
You might get better play of Daniel Jones. You might get better play of the rookie.
Or you might get a split locker room and you kill the rookie before you get a chance. Like, here's the problem. The Giants, let's be very frank here. The Giants fucked up Daniel Jones. I'm not saying Daniel Jones was ever going to be good. I'm not saying he's ever going to be good. But we made it as difficult as possible for him to be good. So you want to get another rookie quarterback and put him in another bad scenario.
Possibly.
That's a horrible idea, in my opinion. we're gonna have to figure out a way to get rid of Daniel Jones. That's all there is to it.
Well, that's it. You're not going to, because you're going to sit there and waste all the money. So then you're saying you can't draft someone.
Sometimes
So
you
what
have
is it?
to. Sometimes you have to. And I already see the notes here. I don't see Daniel Jones being the one to cause the issue. Let me be very clear on that. We just went over. I had a lot of respect for Daniel Jones. I do. But
I mean,
it's difficult when you're in a locker room and you've been fighting with this guy for years. You see him get injured when you thought you're going to go the next couple of years with him. And then all of a sudden, here's this guy to replace him. That's not a fun scenario for a locker room.
No, but that's, you know what? It's also the job too.
I hear you. I just saying, like I said, yeah.
Sometimes teams draft rookie quarterbacks who don't see the field for a few years. So it is possible where you could.
No. There is no way. I'm telling you right now, there is not a single chance in hell that the Giants allow Daniel Jones to start the year.
Oh, he's not. Listen, we already went through this. He's not starting the year, but it doesn't mean like he won't be a starter by the end of the year.
No. What I'm saying is, there's no way the Giants will want him on the field, even because you create such a controversy if he plays halfway decent and the rookie struggles.
Yeah, then the rookie
it is
sits
what
back.
what have you done for me lately? That's what this team. That's what this league is, especially with this team.
Or then you can sit back and actually like develop into an NFL quarterback and not get fucked over. Like Danny Jones did.
See, that's the thing. I don't think that's the issue. I think it's all the coaching changes he had. He had shitty coaches at that. He had offensive line that couldn't gel together, which obviously we still have that problem right now. To me, that's the issues. Fix those two issues. Get consistent, good coaching in there for those two position groups, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, and I think they've done a pretty good job. I'm not going to say fantastic because we'll see how this year finishes out.
We shall see. All right. Let's get to some of the comments here, and let's get on to the recap we have to do today. Recap.
Ooh, I like the way you roll those R's.
Recap. No. It's not Ricola. It's the recap. But if Ricola would like to go ahead and sponsor us, we are available at 2giantgoofballs@mail.com. All right.
Please reach out.
On to the comments. Scott Thaler says, first.
Being first, you last.
I like that. I'm just saying that could be a thing, guys. You could all fight to be the first people to comment on the show. Deb says, hi, guys. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
She says, hello, draft pick. Is the draft pick in the room as well? Hello, draft pick. Where are you? I don't see you.
Hello, draft pick. Can you hear me?
Draft pick, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Scott says, someone comment. They did a commenting. Deb says, leave Tommy in. She wants to pick. She wants to pick. She's in this. She says, when Connor mentioned Caleb crying, I had flashbacks to Ryan Leaf. Yeah. I saw a lot of that. I saw the actual video of it. And I don't get it. I don't know. And I'll admit freely, I'm an old 41-year-old. What I mean by that is I'm progressive considering in some ways, and I'm very old school in other ways. And that's one of the ways I'm old school. Like, I'm sorry. You're a grown fucking man. Don't start crying and go hug your parents in the stands. That's just, no. You can't be a leader of men if you can't do that. If you do that, I'm sorry. That's an issue for me. And I'm with you on that. But again, we haven't evaluated the quarterback. So it's not like I've sat there and watched the whole game. All I saw was the clip. But that does draw a flag to me because I'm sorry. Wipe your tears off before you try to lead me. Like, you need to cry. You go do that in private. I'm not blaming people who cry. I cry.
Tears.
I'm a man. I cry. It's okay. We all cry. But it's like, if I get frustrated at work, for example, I can lash out a little. I can, say I need 5 minutes. Like, that's fine. Like, that's acceptable things to do. Don't get me wrong. I'd rather not lash out at work, but we all do. We're frustrated. We're overworked. And we're tired and that kind of stuff. That's life. But what I can't do is I can't go and cry and hug my parents and then tell people to follow me. I can't do that as a leader at my job. I can't do it as a leader in general.
I didn't watch the video. There's sometimes it's okay to cry in
No.
front of people. But there's
No,
no
no.
reason to go
Not
hug
this.
mommy and daddy about the whole
Yes.
situation.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
That's the red flag. If you're in a tough situation, big game on the line, and you lose at the last minute because you made a bad pick, and like you have a couple tears coming down your eyes, okay, that's acceptable. But if you're bawling and crying to mommy and daddy because you lost a game or you threw a pick, that's not the shit.
Listen, I'll say it this way. Men, you are free to cry whenever you want. I'm not trying to say that, but again, if you're a leader of men, like
You
it
have
or
to lead
not,
by example.
this is the world we live in, with a certain stigma that come along with being a leader of men. And I'm waiting for us to get like culture canceled over saying that, but it's the truth. Like there is a difference.
Well, there's certain things.
You want to cry because you lost a family member. You want to cry because you're in pain because your leg got snapped off. You want to cry because your wife just left you or something. Like those are all acceptable things. You don't cry and go hug your mom and dad because you lost the football game.
No. There's certain leaders that, like you said, it doesn't matter men or women. Certain leaders, you have to show you have to show some strength. Like if we got in some kind of global conflict, and listen, I'm not going to talk politics after this, but if you see your president or the general crying because something is going to go their way, you're going to be like, why is this person leading us?
Yep. You have to show strength. You have to show resiliency. You have to show these things. That's not showing it. All right. Let's see. Connor says, sorry, I'm late. Let me guess. Daniel is done. Yes, he is. He says, if they get QB, clear house, trade Jones, pay part of his salary. You can't do that. That's the problem. So,
torn ACL.
Two things. We talked about a minute ago that he's injured. You can't trade him when he's injured unless somebody's willing to sign a waiver because they know he's not going to pass a physical. The other issue beyond that, when you say pay part of his salary, that only worked with Leonard Williams because he's in the last year of his deal. We can move his salary over to signing bonus. It doesn't work otherwise at that point there because we're going to just kill the cap number even more. We're only going to be $69 million if we cut him. It's or trade him. Like the whole thing situation is crazy. We're just screwed right now. It's not even funny. Connor says $40 million. Let's see. Beef says, you better look up what a top 3 quarterback will make in the NFL next year. I don't know how they afford that and Daniel Jones. And it's funny because I saw your comment and I did look it up. So let's go with CJ Stroud, for example. Second pick in the draft overall. I think it's a good litmus test of whether or not we can afford a quarterback of that magnitude. Would you not agree, Rob? Am I crazy here? Okay. His cap number this year is 6.5. Think we can afford that. We can figure that out. Now, keep in mind, like most contracts, it gets higher and higher as we go on the contract. So year 4, he's making 11.5. But after next year, Daniel Jones is gone, folks. In this scenario, there's no way they're keeping him as a $45 million backup.
No.
So it's just the 1 year you got to worry about, and it's $6,596,226 is the exact number to be exact. 2.9% of the cap. I think the Giants will figure that out. So that'll work. Now, don't get me wrong. Top 3 quarterback, if he was like a free agent quarterback, we're not affording.
Yeah,
but we can afford a rookie quarterback. That's not a problem. Let's see. Connor says, I say get free agent, keep Jones. He died. If they fix O-line, get QB following. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. And Deb says why right here and sums it up very well. Keep Jones and you've wasted another year. That's what it boils down to. If Jones is not the answer, you got to move on. You do not get many opportunities to get a top 3 to top 5 pick in the draft. If that's where we're going to be at, then it's time to go ahead and move on. There's no doubt about that for me. I know we've had people say before in the comments, let's trade down, let's get a whole bunch of picks and stuff like that. You can have the best goddamn players in the world, folks. If you don't have a quarterback, you still have jack and shit. That's what it boils down to. If you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing.
Better off with Jack
You
and
know,
Coke, but we'll go with Jack and shit.
that's like buying a car without an engine. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. Rob's thinking he wants to fight the analogy. He wants to fight the analogy.
I do, because listen, he was the engine that kept us going last year. He took us to the playoff game, won us the playoff game the first time in a long time. So to say that
did, but how much went right for us last year?
So
and I'm not trying to take away from last year. But
I'm going to say no. He's the tire and those treads ran out, so it's time to change him.
But what I'm saying is, it's more like when you talk about him last year, how much went right last year for that to happen? We won how many close games?
And how much has gone wrong this year? So we
I understand that. But what I'm saying is,
so we have the same argument about that.
We counted on a lot to go right to win. You can't keep counting on that. Let's see. Connor says Aaron Rodgers is already tossing football, so Daniel gets same doctor, comes back September. It's possible. That's possible.
Listen,
but he's still not going to be himself when he comes back.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers also tore his Achilles, and he had a new type of surgery done for the Achilles that's like a new thing, which apparently is fantastic for your Achilles heel, which is a different type of soft tissue than your ACL.
Yeah.
Plus, did you see Aaron Rodgers actually throw the football? He looks stiff. It's not like he's throwing a football running down the field.
Yeah, It's
granted, like, kudos to him because that was literally 8 weeks ago.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Connor says, no other way, Deb. Have Daniel for first 5 games. If he's doing okay, cool. If not, you have new QB waiting on the cheap. Yeah, I don't want to waste time. Putting Daniel Jones back in is wasting time. Deb says, Jones's class, I see Jones being a mentor. Lots he can teach a rookie. I don't disagree this whatsoever. I just think if you were telling me the Giants were going to get rid of Daniel Jones and he's going to get signed to be the backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears or the Carolina Panthers to be that kind of mentor to a rookie or a young quarterback, yeah, done. Great deal. Great position for him to be at, especially Carolina. He's from there. But on a team that he was the quarterback coach of is where you have, I said where he was the starting quarterback for years of, that's where you start having the locker room issues because you have guys that fought with this guy and have respect for this guy. Because again, he's a good guy. It's going to create issues. Connor says, I can see if he cried if it was a championship game, maybe. Yeah, I mean, depending on the scenario. Deb says, plenty of tears shed at Hall of Fame inductions. Nothing wrong with it. It's different when on the field. Exactly. No, and that's a perfect example, too, of a time and a place because that's one of those just your emotions just kind of take over at that point there. You know, it's also okay during movies, even if you want. I don't care. You want to cry during a movie, go ahead. I'm not the guys can't cry person. I'm the leaders can't cry person. There is a difference. You cannot cry as a leader. You can't. You're the one people are looking to for a solid mind at that point. Not letting your emotions get to you and playing the right way. You can't do that when you're sobbing in your mom's lap. I'm sorry.
Holds me.
Yeah, exactly. Beef says when you're drafting a QB, you better make sure he can handle New York, and Williams cannot do that. I watched that game. He jumped up, hugged his mommy while his father rubbed his back while mommy covered his face. No part of him, please. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens there. That's part of the problem is that there's always good and bad quarterbacks in every draft. So you have to trust the process to make sure you have the right one. But we can agree, I think that Buffalo got it right. Joe Shane was part of that process. Hopefully he either was a big proponent of that move or learned a couple of things in the process. Connor says, it's like Tom Hanks said, a league of their own. There's no crying in football. There's no crying. Exactly. It's not the place.
I don't think he said that in League of Their Own.
He did.
You talk about Batman.
It was a sequel. There we go. It was a football field of their own. Connor says, I say never get a quarterback, just get free agents every year. LOL, joking. He also says, this is why there should be something to contract if you're out for the year, you get half the money. Yeah, good luck getting the players union to be okay with that one. He also says the NFL can solve this whole thing by saying if someone gets an ACL and Achilles problem and they're out for the year, it doesn't count against the cap. They could potentially do that. I wouldn't be opposed to that idea necessarily. I mean, it's quick thought process here, but I mean, you could run into problems here pretty quickly. Is it fair? Because I would say this: if you give that team the okay to use that cap money this year, then I'd be okay with it. But keep in mind, overflow of cap goes to next year. So you're going to tell me that I'm going to be up $40 million because my starting quarterback had an ACL tear, and I can use it next year when the starting quarterback's back? That's an issue.
Yeah, it's so tricky.
That's an issue. That's a good thing. Is cap issues. These cap issues happen here. All right, we're 40 minutes in, guys.
We didn't even start talking about this week.
We haven't even started about this week yet. I mean, I kind of expected this would happen. Obviously, don't get me wrong. But we got to start talking about this week here. What happened in football here to teams that actually don't suck. So let's start going on that. We will definitely try. To go a little fast here for you guys there, because we know you guys don't want to be 5 hours into this here, as Connor says. Only problem with Michael Penix Jr. is his name sounds like penis.
You're not wrong.
It happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't look at that. There's been a lot of rumors about him that going to Seattle and replacing Geno Smith. Washington quarterback, he's from the area. That'd be huge, but we'll see.
No more Eugene.
Let's get into these games here.
All right.
First up, of course, as always, we go with a Thursday night football game, Titans at the Steelers. And as always, we tell you, if you are a football fan, you probably know what happened because it's been almost a week. Steelers win 20-16. Next up,
let's go into Germany. 9.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. You got the Dolphins playing the Chiefs at home.
Das Dolphins.
Yeah, Das Dolphins.
Versus Das Chiefs.
Yes, I don't know how to say Chief in German. Anyway, Chiefs win 21.
Das Chiefs.
Das Chiefs. Chiefs win 21-14. The Chiefs scored a touchdown off a fumble at the end of the first grade half, leading 21-0. I don't know if you watched this game, Drew, but they literally Tyreek Hill went back up to try to tackle the defender who did a lateral move to score for 56 yards down the field.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It was a really smart move because it was right at the end of the half, and it's like they wouldn't have gotten the 7 points otherwise. Yeah,
and it was perfect because it was just enough where the Chiefs didn't have to do anything else to stay in this ballpark. Dolphins put up 14-0 in the second half. I'm not even going off your notes here, Drew. I watched the game.
Okay. Well, you just said the Dolphins went off 14-0 in the second half.
Well, yeah, because the Chiefs didn't score in the second half.
We're saying they already had points.
They didn't need to.
By the way, I have something for you.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Die Häuptlinge schlugen die Delfine mit 21-14.
There we go. There's your summary. That was German for Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14.
Good thing you told me because I had no idea.
That singer from Rammstein sounds different.
But it sounds a lot different. 9. But Dolphins could have tied this ball game up in the final minutes of this game, but they had a bad snapper. Tua had to recover back. Ball game ends.
Yeah, as a 4th and 10 that snap. That's kind of hard to come back from that.
Yeah. But yeah, Tua was 21 of 34, 193 yards, 1 touchdown. Mozart had 12 carries, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 8 catches, 62 yards, 1 fumble. Womp.
Wow.
Mahomes was 20 of 30, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Pacheco, Rutgers boy himself, 16 carries, 66 yards.
Rutgers pride.
He didn't really have to change his color too much.
Yeah, he's like the new Rutgers pride since we can't talk about the other one. Yep. Can't talk about him. Next game up, Minnesota Vikings at the Atlanta Falcons here. Vikings, we kind of counted them out of this game because we thought Jaron Hall was going to be the quarterback. Well, yeah, no,
And
that
the
didn't
over.
last very long. Vikings win 31-28. Talk about a blowout game like you don't expect like that. Starting QB Jaron Hall got a concussion trying to run to the end zone towards the end of the first quarter. Joshua Dobbs to the rescue. Both teams basically kept on swapping for the lead. It came down literally to who had the ball last, and Minnesota had the ball last. So they won. Jaron Hall was 5 of 6, 78 yards before he went out of the game. Dobbs was 20 of 30, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. TJ Hawkinson, 7 catches, 69 yards.
Yeah.
And then Taylor Heineke, talking about a much better offense this Falcons is with him. 21 of 38, 268, touchdown and an interception. Jonnu Smith, 5 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. I think it was like a 50-yard touchdown he had, too. It was a friggin' big, massive
it was
play.
a bomb.
It was a screen, I thought it was.
Well, no, I'm saying it was like I think it was like 52 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah, but I think it was a screenplay from Rice. So, yeah, it's crazy.
Did a lot of yak.
Oh, yak.
Yeah, and my Dumas had Dobbs on his bench and put it in Bryce Young into this game of fantasy.
Yeah.
Because who would have thought the engineer Dobbs would have went in and lit up this field? Anyway.
Next up,
we got the Birds versus the Birds. You got the Hawks in Baltimore playing the Ravens.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird is the word.
Actually, Lamar is the word.
Don't you know about the bird yet? Everybody's heard that bird is the word.
Lamar is the word because he lit up this field. 37-3. Ravens win. Talk about shellacking. This Ravens team, I was doubting through a lot of this year, but they've beat some of the best teams in football handily.
Yeah.
They're scoring the fourth quarter. Like they pants the Lions and the Seahawks, which are both in the top 5, top 10, top 5 in NFC.
It's also state laws against bestiality.
Touche.
Don't pants animals. Let them keep their stuff hidden.
I mean, birds don't wear pants.
Apparently they do in your analogy.
Well, they should because they went nuts in this game. Ayo.
Oh my gosh.
They dominate both sides of this football. They're like Eugene.
We are the nation of domination.
Look like Geno of the Jets. Geno Smith with 13 of 28 attempts, 157 yards, 1 interception. Jackson Smith and Njigba. I couldn't get that out for a second.
Njigba.
6 catches, 63 yards. Seahawks allowed 298 rushing yards.
Ouch.
And the sad thing is the 4th most in franchise history. So there's 3 other games where there's more yards than that.
Yeah. That's absolutely insanity.
Lamar, 21 of 26. Talk about a great completion percentage there. He had 187 yards, and he's also had 10 rushes for 60 yards, and then pulled after the third quarter because they pants the Seahawks.
Mercy rule.
Yeah, pretty much. Where the backup over there, Tyler Huntley was 5 of 7, 38 yards, 1 touchdown. Mitchell had this guy came out of nowhere. Keaton Mitchell. He had 9 rushes.
Like who heard of this guy before? Who goes? Let's watch out for Keaton Mitchell.
Well, everyone in fantasy was like, "Oh, should we start Justice Hall? Should we start insert running back?"
Gus Edwards is the one you do. I mean, he's a TD machine, but
nope. Mitchell had 9 carries, 138 yards,
9.
1 touchdown. 9. Perfect for Germany. Too bad he wasn't there.
Jeremy Sporkin.
To Gus, our words. 5 carries, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mark Andrews, 9 catches, 80 yards. OBJ got into this game, his first touchdown since the Rams.
Since the Super Bowl. Yeah.
5 catches, 56 yards. Oh, I think it was his birthday.
It was birthday. Yeah, he got 1 touchdown, 1 birthday cake.
Ooh.
Happy birthday, OBJ.
Kyle Van Noy, 2 sacks and a forced fumble.
Not too shabby. All right, next up, we got the Cardinals at the Browns, the 2 crappiest franchises in NFL history playing each other. This should be fun. Deshaun Watson decided to actually play for once. That was nice of him. Clayton Tune started for the Cardinals against the Browns' scary D. So that pretty much that matchup went as expected. The Cardinals had 57 yards of offense in total. Yeah, 27-0. The Browns won. That's insanity. Browns had 7 sacks in the day. Clayton Tune was 11 of 20 for 58 yards and 2 interceptions. Deshaun Watson, 19 of 30, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 5 catches, 139 yards and a touchdown. And Kareem Hunt and David Njoku both had a touchdown in the game as well. So, yeah, not much to talk about because, yeah, man amongst boys kind of scenario there. Browns were amazing, and the Cardinals were the Cardinals.
Clayton Tune looked like he belonged in Looney Tunes or Who Framed Roger Rabbit, not this football game. But you had the Rams up next. You had the Rams go into Lambeau Field playing them Packers. The Packers have lost 4 in a row. But you know who's worse? Is the Rams without Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Look at what happened to them last year. Terrible. Packers win 20-3. Terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Replay.
Terrible.
Yes.
Sounds fancy. It's like another language.
It's like French. Is it German?
Terrible. Hong Hong. Croissant.
Yeah, well, that's what you might as well call Matt Stafford's backup, Brett Rypien, who's 13 of 28 attempts, 130 yards, 1 interception. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua combined for 64 yards.
That's not good.
No,
you want each of them to have that at a minimum.
Stats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, 20 attempts. 20 completions out of 26 attempts, 228 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Jones, it's looking good. 20 rushes, 73.
Mr.
Jones. The bright side. He also had a touchdown as well. And Luke Musgrave.
Saleh.
Musgrave. 3 for 51, 1 touchdown. You get to talk about the fun game here.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is the game. The Bucks at the Texans. Who would have thought this would be the offensive juggernaut game of the week? Texans win 39-37. Neither defense could just do a damn thing right in this game. Baker Mayfield throws for a touchdown with 46 seconds left to give the Bucks the lead. Took C.J. Stroud just 40 seconds to score another one to retake the lead. That's how the game ended. Absolutely insanity. Baker Mayfield, 21 of 30, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashad White, 20 carries, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cade Otton, the tight end, with 6 catches, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 4 catches, 87 yards. C.J. Stroud, the man, the myth, the legend, the one that ticks off Panther fans every single time they see him play. Should have been the first overall pick. Listen, Rob and I said this in the draft. We said this was the guy to get. This was the guy to get. We were very clear on this, and the Panthers did not listen to us. Who's the freaking goofballs now, goddammit?
Yeah, gosh.
Clearly you know what we're doing. I'm just saying, Joe Shane, listen this offseason. C.J. Stroud, 30 of 42, 470 yards, 5 touchdowns. Sets a rookie single game passing yards record, which the previous one was 432 by Andrew Luck. So it wasn't just he beat it, he beat it by a pretty damn good amount.
It's like he went into this game and put Madden on rookie and said, look at this rookie.
Yeah. Now, he wasn't the only rookie to kill it, though. Tank Dell, the little guy, the little 5'8" guy from Houston, the college, not just the city, was 6 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. Was huge in this game here for them. Dalton Schultz, guy who should have been playing over in Germany, 10 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. I see nothing.
9.
I feel like anybody who understands that reference I just made, by the way, is either like my age and had to like watch a lot of older TV growing up, or like definitely like our parents' age at that point. But Hogan's Heroes was a pretty good show, actually. That was a pretty good show. Who would have thought that you'd make it into a funny show that a bunch of people being stuck in a prison during World War II? Somehow they did it.
Yeah.
And don't forget, that's also the show that gave us Richard Dawson, who kissed all the women on Family Feud.
This is true.
Yes, it was. And we always don't talk about Bob Crane because the lead guy killed himself.
Way to bring
Noah
it up.
Brown, 6 catches, 153 yards and a touchdown. Nico Collins, 3 catches, 54 yards and a touchdown. So as you can imagine, in a 39-37 kind of game, a lot of offensive players had a really good game.
CJ Stroud was like Oprah Winfrey. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. You get yards.
Just absolutely amazing performance by him. Dude, can you imagine getting a ball back with 46 seconds? I think it said it was 46. So I said, yeah. 40 seconds.
Yeah.
46 seconds. Yeah, you got it back with not a single touchdown. I said not a single timeout. I should include that. Not a single timeout.
There's elite quarterbacks in this league that can't do that.
No. And
So,
I mean, I know they didn't play well today, but the Bucs have a good defense overall, folks. They're
both of
coached
these
by a
teams,
defense. Yeah, they usually do. It's a defensive-minded coach. They got some pretty damn good players in that team overall. But yeah,
listen,
shootout.
Texans keep doing what they're doing. We're no longer going to be making the jokes about the worst team in football being the Houston Texans.
Yeah, we're going to make it about being the New York Giants. Come on, Giants. You got this.
Oh, no, we don't. Please, no.
Get that first overall pick.
Come
Get
on.
whatever player we want. All right.
We'll be talking about the Patriots. Yeah, you got the Commanders going into Foxborough playing the Patriots. Commanders win this game 20-17.
Is this the most like patriotic game there could be? I mean, the Commanders is obviously a military name at that point. They got the Patriots, obviously, very patriotic. They're the most patriotic matchup possible in the NFL.
It might be. I mean, granted, because they were formerly known as the red pigment people.
The melanin.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah, the Commanders played well considering just days after trading 2 of their best players. Chase Young playing with the Niners now.
Montez Sweat, who signed a contract extension with the Bears too upon trading. I guess he just doesn't care about winning.
I guess not. It's show me the money, right?
Show me the money.
Too bad teams that kept swapping the lead. Someone had to win this game. Well, that's not 100% true. They could have tied this game.
It felt like a tie.
It definitely did. Definitely
like
felt like a tie to whoever hosts this game. Mac Jones was 24 of 44. Wolf, 220 yards.
That's not a whoop. His stats aren't that bad. It's just you got to actually the eye test isn't good.
Well, when you throw for 44 times and you have 24 completions.
Yeah.
That's what, 54%?
I know. I'm just saying. I've seen a lot worse. Don't pick on the man. He's down.
I can't. You're right. Stevenson had 9 rushes, 87 yards, 1 touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. He sounds like he should belong in Germany too.
It's like the first time I feel like we've mentioned him all year long. He's been horrible.
Just about. Remember when the Giants fans are like, we should get this guy? 6 catches.
For all fairness, I said Jacoby Myers, and based on what he's doing, I was right.
This is true. Sam Howell, 29 completions, 45 attempts, 325 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Am I the only one? Okay, I'm going to make this. And listen, this is not a joke. I don't want people to understand this very clearly. I'm not making it a joke. This is one of the things that I feel like someone's going to take the wrong way. I don't mean it that way. But am I the only one who, when I hear Sam Howell's name, you say it fast, it sounds like how? It's just funny because of the team he's on. Like
I was about to say, especially when it was 5 years ago.
I'm just saying, like, oh my gosh,
like Chevy Chase.
It's like someone's gonna like, they are horrible people. They said all kinds of things. Listen, we never even gave our opinion on the team name. Okay, we stay out of that because that becomes political. I'm just saying the irony of the whole scenario.
You just see like a whole bunch of announcers walking around like Chevy Chase in that movie. Dotson, 4 catches, 69 yards, 1 touchdown.
You're thinking it now, aren't you? You're like, oh my god, it does sound like it.
I am. Keep that inside. Brian Robson Jr., 18 rushes, 63 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 fumble, and Scary Terry, 5 catches, 73 yards.
Oof. All righty. Then we got the Bears at the Saints. Having some good old Creole food, some shrimp and grits while they're there. Tyson Bagent got the start again. Teams basically went back and forth, but turnovers by Bagent were the difference when it boiled down to it. He was 18 of 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a fumble. So, yeah, rough outing for the guy overall. But the scary thing is he's still better than all the quarterbacks we have. So, I still stand by my statement.
1 of 7 backup quarterbacks, so...
Yeah, I'm just saying. I still say he should have been our quarterback. We should have got him. Cole Kmet, 6 catches, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deontay Foreman, 20 rushes, 83 yards. Darnell Mooney, 5 catches, 83 yards. Derek Carr today, 25 of 34, 211, 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill, passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Sounds like the usual game for Hill. Chris Olave, 6 catches, 46 yards. 6 catches, 46 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, kind of a boring game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Next up,
you get the Colts at the Panthers. Oh, those lackluster Panthers. Colts win 27-13. Both teams were just really not good at an offense. The difference was Gardner Minshew remembered that what team he was playing for, not throwing so many picks.
That's the honest assessment of the game.
Yeah, Bryce Young can't say the same. He was out of 39 attempts, 24 completions, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's not how you win ball games.
Yep. Yeah. Just saying, CJ Stroud, folks. CJ Stroud.
Yep. Well, DJ Shark had a touchdown in the game.
DJ Shark, DJ Shark, DJ Shark.
Garner, Minshew.
No, that only works if you do with DJ Shark.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Garner Minshew was 17 to 26, 127 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 picks.
Yeah.
Kenny Moore, the second, 2 pick sixes. Esquire. Sorry. First Colt ever to have multiple pick sixes in a single game.
Yeah, I can't remember a Giant ever having 2 pick sixes in a game. I'm sure it maybe have happened. I mean, they've been around for 100 years now, but I can't
say they've been around long enough you would think so, but I can't recall.
I know.
Michael Pittman Jr. had 8 catches, 64 yards, and JT had he also recorded himself a touchdown as well.
Yeah. He's slowly but surely getting back. All right. Let's pay the bills real quick, and then we're back to more comments and the rest of the games there.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
All righty. Got a couple comments here, but we'll get back to the rest of the games. Connor says, I now hate Travis Kelce. Cost me $800 my money. He couldn't get a lousy 40 yards, and everyone else on my ticket hit their yardage, TDs, etc. F you, Travis and Taylor Swift. That's right. I said it. Wow. Listen, I don't think anybody likes this couple here on that show. And the scary thing is, I actually have more respect for Taylor Swift than I do have Travis Kelce. Something just tells me he's using her. I hate to say it, because I'm definitely not a Taylor Swift fan. Rob can attest to this. I couldn't even tell you more than like 1 or 2 songs she does. I probably heard them. I just didn't know it was her. One of those kind of scenarios. But
she shakes it off. Don't worry.
Every single time Travis Kelce is just everywhere nowadays.
I mean, he was everywhere before they got
I
together.
just like more, and it's like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Respect my privacy. But listen, if you didn't want to fucking talk about it, you would tell her to put some fucking mask on and some shades and not show up at the game in a typical Taylor Swift outfit and everything. Don't give me that bullshit. I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, he was getting big before. Him and his brothers has their podcast. They've been doing
Not
commercials.
this big, dude. Not this big. Not like this. This is like world stage now because of who he's with. I'm sorry, but he's he's fake. I mean, the guy literally did a dating show about dating a woman from each state there as like a thing, and like I don't know. His ex before that was an influencer that apparently has like a ton of hits and everything. And I mean, it's like I don't know. Something about me, like, and again, I've worked in sales for years and years. I usually am pretty good at reading people. He's bullshit. I'm sorry. He is. He's fake. He's that guy who stab you in the back in a heartbeat. Again, I have nothing to back that. I have nothing to back that up except for what I see in micro expressions and stuff in his face. But he comes off as extremely fake to me. All right. Next up, my dad chimes in. Says, couldn't get on earlier. Couldn't stay on for long, so I don't know how much you talked about the college quarterbacks, but USC quarterbacks don't have a very good track record in the NFL. I wouldn't draft an NC QB either. Jaden Daniels of LSU is my choice for our next QB. Yeah, we'll have to see. And this is one of those years that Rob and I may start looking at quarterbacks earlier than we might have otherwise, because let's be honest, this is what the season's come down to. So we'll see. So we're going to have to do a lot of work on these guys there to see, because that's a big decision. Big decision. All righty. Connor said, since we have to pay Daniel, just get Alex McGo. Oh, my God. Enough of this Alec guy. Come on, Connor. He's not good either. He's not good. Yeah. We're starting skipping over those comments on him, Connor. Let's get this guy from the USFL that hasn't played her down in the NFL. He's going to be spectacular. That'll fix it. Yeah. Nice Kurt Warner. He also says another one laughing at the bank. Stafford. They need to come up with something in contract that is fair to team and QB, especially these big contracts. Listen, Matt Stafford showed his value last year. Look how crappy that team was without him. That team would be crap without him on the team again. So, yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Connor says that Houston game was crazy. The one guy who could have gave 50 yards to Nico, and they would have had 4 guys 100 yards. Games is crazy. Yeah, that was a sick game. It was a sick game. Deb says the red people, LMAO. Yeah, Rob's trying to like touch on that without not touching. I'm just saying.
I don't want to say the actual term.
How we won't use the terms.
I say enough slang still get me canceled. I don't need to put myself out there.
You know what it is for me? It's just kind of like, and it's kind of like the name has changed. They don't use that name. Some people find it offensive. Some people don't, of the race that it is referring to. I'll put it that way. I just don't feel like it's my place as a white guy to say whether or not I can or cannot use that word. So I just won't. I'll make it that simple. Because it doesn't affect me not being able to say it. But me possibly saying it can affect other people, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Connor says, did anyone find it funny or crazy that Dallas hurt Dallas Goedert on Philly team? And how the hell did Crazy Jerry not pick Dallas Goedert in the draft? Well, it's because Dallas Goedert didn't have a father working for the team, apparently.
Apparently.
That is the key to getting drafted. All righty. We got a couple more games left to go. Just a couple more here. Next up, we have the Giants at the Raiders. Again, Raiders shellacked us 30-6, ensuring us a better draft pick as always. If you guys want to hear more about it and want to hear us cuss, and more cuss, well, guess what? Go back to the prior episode. We did our post-game status there, and yeah, there's plenty of cussing, guys. Don't you worry. Plenty of cussing.
Super cussing. Super Sunday.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, we won't talk about that game anymore. Next game, go for
Talk about Dallas. Yeah, Dallas going into Philly.
Shit bowl. The best
Listen,
thing you can hope for is a lightning bolt to the center of the field that just takes everybody out.
I was about to say, you ever see that scene from The Dark Knight Rises?
Yes,
You know,
that was Heinz Field.
he has a beautiful singing voice.
Heinz Ward.
Yes.
Heinz Ward and Heinz Field. Heinz.
Eagles won 28-23, and what some people on Twitter said was a very controversial cause. Like the refs were paid off. I just think Dallas sucks in the red zone. Anyway, both teams were back and forth.
Listen, if the referees were after the Cowboys and wanted the Eagles to win, they wouldn't have made two huge calls that almost got Dallas a quarterback to end the game. Just saying. And a touchdown in the game. Wouldn't have called that. Wouldn't have called pass interference and all this late hit and that kind of shit.
And a cock punch.
Is that an actual term that they have?
No. Did you actually see the game?
There's a foul in the field. Cock punch number 6.
No. There was in the fourth quarter. I forget who it was from Philly. When he gets up, it looks like he punched someone in.
I didn't see
Dallas,
that.
right in his junk. He cock punched him.
Well, Nagama Kasu was on the team last year. They probably learned some things.
Touche. Yeah, but both teams went back and forth. Eagles had 28-23 with 58 seconds left to go. And Swift, their running back, fumbled the ball. Cowboys got back down the field real fast. 2 huge penalties by the Eagles. Dallas got stopped after 3 early in the game. Cowboys also got stopped on the half-yard line on the 4th down and fumbled in the red zone. So if
that's
Dallas
3.
was looking to win this game, you wouldn't be making the silly mistakes.
That is 3 key drives that ended on big mistakes. And the scary thing is they lost by 5 points. They could have just kicked field goals in those scenarios and won.
Yep.
That's the scary part.
This is probably Dak's.
Sucks. They really, really suck.
This is probably Dak's best game.
I'm going to say this. I would prefer to be in our boat than the Cowboys' boat right now.
I'm saying I don't want the opportunity. Like, I just don't want to see it.
Like, how embarrassing must it be to be so good in the regular season every single year and then just get killed in the postseason? To know
they're 5-3 now. They're pretty much like the Dolphins.
To know that every single year you'll pretty much get in the playoffs with this team, but you'll lose in the playoffs. You never will win a championship. That's just sad.
Yeah. The Cowboys are kind of like the Dolphins. They're like the NFC version of the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel bad for them. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'd rather our position. At least we know we got to rebuild.
Touche. Dak was 29 of 44 on the day, 374 yards with 3 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 11 catches, 191 yards. Woof. Wow.
Woof.
Yeah. Jake Ferguson, 7 catches, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts had 17 completions off of 23 attempts with 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. I don't want to say shellacked A.J. Brown, but A.J. Brown has been having such a dominant past month. He only had 7 catches for 66 yards, 1 touchdown.
Still a good game. Still a good game.
I know, that was sarcasm there.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. I've been in Florida too long.
Yeah. He's on my fantasy team, so it's fantastic. Devontae Smith was 3 for 51 yards, 1 touchdown.
There you go. So somebody had to win, unfortunately. On to the Bills and the Bengals. The Buffalo versus the Tigers. Bengals won 24-18. There's a lot of signs too leading up to the game too for DeMar Hamlin. Keep in mind that's where that happened last year. It was at that Bengals game there. And it was back in Cincinnati again for a second year in a row. So Bills had trouble getting things going again. I don't know what's with the slow starts this team. Like, this team cannot get going. They try to catch up the last minute. It doesn't work that way, guys. Bengals led 24-10 with 4 minutes left. The Bills managed to get a touchdown, but it was just too late at that point to come back. Josh Allen, 26-38, 258 yards, touchdown, interception, and a rushing touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, which is one of the rookie tight ends here. You don't hear a lot on him there. He's got some talent when he gets everything going. 10 catches, 81 yards. Joe Burrow, 31 of 44, 348 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big thing for him.
One gritty finger.
Big thing for him, though. He got he got it moving around a little bit there. I think he looked a lot better. Looks like he's gotten fully healthy now. T. Higgins, 8 catches, 110 yards. Going into this game, the Bengals did not have a single touchdown from the tight end position. Smith and Sample both got 1, so now they got 2 in the season. So, good game by them. Good win. It's the Bills this close to being a 500 team, basically, if they lose next week.
Yeah, I mean, those Bengals, man, they started off 3-0 when everyone was ready to write them off.
0-3.
And yeah, that's what I say, 3-0. Yeah, 0-3. And now they won their 5-1 in the past.
They're 5-3 now.
Yeah.
Overall. So yeah, they're back in the New York groove.
Yeah, I mean, possibly one of the best teams in the AFC.
Oh yeah. I mean, they are. There's no possibly. They're definitely one of the best teams. All right. So Anthony says, not to get off subject, but do you guys think that maybe we could get JJ McCarthy in the second or third round? I think we need an O-line heavy draft. Here's the thing, though, with that, and I've heard of that thought process as well. Besides the fact we talked about before about how well some, like CJ Stroud's play with a bad offensive line and stuff like that. In the end, guys, we put draft capital into the line.
Yeah. My bigger concern is not, yes, could we get better key players at certain of those positions? Probably.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, though, is not that they haven't spent the time trying to improve that line, because they have. They've spent. It's disgusting. Over the past 5 years, they've spent the most draft on that line.
I mean, think about
any other team.
Andrew Thomas, top 5 pick. You got left guard Ben Bredesen was a trade. John Michael Schmitz, 3rd round pick. Josh Azudu, who they wanted to play at that right guard position before the shit hit the fan. 3rd round pick. Evan Neal, tops was the 7th pick. Yes, was top 10 pick at least. That's a lot of draft capital, guys. It's not like they haven't been trying to get offensive linemen. What they need is better coaching at the position.
I was about to say they need a better offensive line coach.
And they still probably should draft at least one guy in the draft there. But let's be very frank. You need to draft an offensive lineman every single draft. At least one. I don't care how deep you are. You draft one. That's how you keep deep. That's how you keep things going. So
yep, keep them healthy.
But in the end,
not healthy, but
you can give the guy all the time in the world. But if you don't have a quarterback, doesn't matter what kind of time he has, because he can't read a defense, can't read a field. That's where we're at. All right, guys. So that'll wrap us up here for today. So we'll be back on again for you guys Wednesday. We're still trying to figure out what's going to happen Wednesday fully. So that may be a pre-recorded episode, guys. We'll see. It depends on how me and Rob's schedule works tomorrow. But we'll be on either way on Wednesday. And, of course, on Thursday, we'll be back on as well for the pregame show for the Giants versus Cowboys. And, of course, we'll give some options on how the Giants may pull out a victory. Like, let's say, explosive diarrhea goes to the Cowboys locker room, or perhaps, lightning crashes into their team hotel at that point. I don't know. I'm trying to think something. It's got to get done.
Everyone in Dallas in the locker room is going to eat nothing but Indian food the night before.
We need something to get from the plagues at that point. That's what we need. Locusts sweep across the whole bench. So, like I said, we'll see. We'll get some options here, but yeah, obviously, we're not going to be very optimistic about winning on Sunday. Spoiler alert. But we'll see you guys. Like I said, listen, we're not going to stop talking about them anyway, because we care. We know you guys do as well. So we'll keep on talking about them. Keep on hoping things. At least we get some positive things out of this season. And I don't mean wins. I mean, seeing some of the young players get positive and get better. Figuring out what we have and what pieces we need. Those are still key decisions we got to do this year here. So, as always, Giant fans, we are live every episode on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter /X, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite. Oh, yes. My LinkedIn profile. Oh, yes. And then, of course, obviously, we are available the next day also on all the audio platforms as well. So we're available on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the big ones there. So if you prefer to watch audio, go there. Even if you don't prefer, go there anyway and download us. Helps us out. Makes us look good fun. People think we're good then.
Yeah. Yay.
Fool them. Help us fool them. Help us. All right, guys. So we'll see you guys again next episode there. Appreciate you guys coming in as always. And as always, Giant fans.
Go
G-Man! G-Man to the first pick.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.